Maya Thomas had always felt like an outsider. Even here, at the prestigious Northridge Linguistic Research Facility nestled in the Montana wilderness, where she should have found her people, fellow language enthusiasts, pattern recognizers, code breakers, she still felt disconnected. Tonight was no different as she worked alone in her lab while her colleagues celebrated Dr. Kingsley's birthday in the main hall. Just 5 more minutes with these Sumerian translations, she muttered, tucking a strand of copper hair behind her ear. The ancient texts had consumed her for weeks, their patterns haunting her dreams. The building shook suddenly, violently. Books tumbled from shelves as a deafening roar filled the air. Maya dove under her desk, covering her head as ceiling tiles crashed down around her. When the trembling stopped, she emerged cautiously. Through her window, an eerie blue light pulsed from the forest behind the facility. Any sensible person would call security. Instead, Maya grabbed her jacket and flashlight. The bitter November air bit through her clothes as she followed the glow. Something pulled her forward, curiosity certainly, but something else too. A strange familiarity she couldn't explain. The source of the light was a sleek object about the size of a small bus, half buried in disturbed earth, not a meteorite. The surface was too smooth, too intentional. As Maya approached, a section of the object shifted and opened. Maya's breath caught. A figure emerged, humanoid but clearly not human. Tall and lithe with pale blue-silver skin that seemed to shimmer under the moonlight. Its eyes were large, deep violet pools without visible pupils, and intricate markings spiraled across its exposed arms and face. "Hello," Maya called out, her voice surprisingly steady. "Do you understand me?" The being tilted its head, studying her with those impossible eyes. It spoke, a melodic series of clicks and sustained tones. Maya stepped closer. "I'm Maya Thomas," she pointed to herself. The alien raised a six-fingered hand in a fluid gesture. "Kelrax," it responded, the sound unlike any language Maya had ever heard, yet she understood it was a name. "Kelrax," she repeated, testing the syllables. The being moved toward her with unexpected swiftness. Maya startled but didn't retreat as Kelrax stopped just before her. Up close, she could see the markings on its skin weren't tattoos but seemed to glow faintly from within, pulsing with the rhythm of what she assumed was its heartbeat. Kelrax reached out, hesitating just inches from Maya's face. She nodded slightly, giving permission. The touch was cool against her cheek but not unpleasant. A tingling sensation spread from the contact point through her body. "Maya Thomas," Kelrax said perfectly in English, its voice melodic and androgynous. "I have found you." Maya gasped, "How did you?" "Your language is simple, your mind is not." Kelrax's head tilted again. "You are marked by the stars." Before Maya could question this cryptic statement, shouts and flashlight beams cut through the trees behind them. The security team had noticed the disturbance. "They'll take you," Maya said urgently, though she didn't know why she cared. "You need to hide." Kelrax shook his head. "You're not leaving ever, the claim has been made." "What claim? I don't understand." The security team burst into the clearing, weapons raised. Everything happened at once. Shouting, Kelrax moving protectively in front of Maya, a strange humming emanating from the ship. As the first rays of dawn broke over the trees, Maya stood between worlds, her colleagues behind her, an alien before her, and the inexplicable feeling that her life would never be the same. "Don't shoot," she yelled, arms outstretched. "He's not hostile." Dr. Kingsley pushed to the front of the security team. "Maya, get away from it." "His name is Kelrax," she replied firmly, "and I think he came here looking for me." 3 weeks had passed since the crash. Maya sat across from Kelrax in the observation room, aware of the two-way mirror where government scientists watched their every interaction. The facility had transformed into a high-security research center overnight. "Your species categorizes everything," Kelrax observed, long fingers tracing the textbook Maya had brought. "Stars, plants, each other, even yourselves." "It helps us understand the world," Maya replied, distracted by the way light played across Kelrax's silver-blue skin. She'd grown accustomed to his otherworldly beauty, the fluid grace of his movements. "Understanding doesn't require separation," he countered. His violet eyes met hers and that now familiar warmth spread through her chest. Maya rolled up her sleeve, revealing a small patch of skin on her forearm that had developed a faint bluish pattern overnight. "Is this from you?" she whispered, keeping her arm below the table away from the cameras. "It matches your markings." Kelrax's expression softened. He reached beneath the table, his cool fingers brushing her skin. "The resonance has begun," he murmured, "sooner than expected." The door swung open as Colonel Vaughn entered, interrupting their moment. Tall and imposing with cropped gray hair, he'd been appointed to oversee what the government now called the contact situation. Progress report, Dr. Thomas, he demanded. Maya straightened, pulling her sleeve down. Kelrax's grasp of English improves daily. We've established basic communication protocols and begun cultural exchange. What we need is technological exchange, Vaughn countered. The alien's ship contains energy sources beyond our understanding. Kelrax, Maya corrected firmly, he has a name. Vaughn's jaw tightened. The subject has refused to discuss propulsion systems or weapons capabilities. Because I have shared them with Maya only, Kelrax stated calmly. She carries the ancestral markers, the knowledge belongs to her first. The colonel scowled. Dr. Thomas works for us, anything you tell her. I work with you, Maya interrupted. There's a difference. After Vaughn left, visibly frustrated, Maya turned to Kelrax. What did you mean about ancestral markers? Kelrax touched her hand, his skin cool against hers. Tonight, when they think you sleep. Later, Maya lay in her assigned quarters, watching the clock until 2 a.m. The facility quieted as the night shift took over. She slipped out of bed, having discovered weeks ago that the ventilation system connected her room to Kelrax's. He waited for her, those luminous markings on his skin glowing brighter in the darkness. Maya, he whispered, her name sounding like music in his voice. Tell me everything, she urged, sitting beside him on the floor. Kelrax placed his hand over hers. My people visited Earth thousands of years ago. Some stayed, some mixed their essence with humans. You're saying I have alien DNA? Maya asked incredulously. Instead of answering, Kelrax leaned forward slowly, giving her time to pull away. When she didn't, his lips brushed hers, tentative, questioning. The contact sent electricity through her body, the markings on her arm glowing in response to his. Maya gasped against his mouth, then pressed closer, her hand finding the nape of his neck. The kiss deepened, and in that connection she felt memories that weren't hers, stars viewed from impossible distances, worlds with twin suns, the vastness of space not as emptiness but as a shimmering network of connections. When they finally parted, Maya's breath came in short gasps. What's happening to me? You're awakening, Kelrax murmured, tracing the luminous pattern now spreading up her arm. The dormant genes respond to proximity with my kind. A noise in the corridor startled them apart. Maya quickly retreated to the vent, but not before Kelrax caught her hand. They will try to separate us when they realize, he warned. Humans fear what they don't understand. I won't let them, Maya promised, though uncertainty gnawed at her. She was changing, becoming something neither fully human nor fully alien. As she slipped back to her room, she caught her reflection in a window. For just a moment, her eyes flashed violet in the darkness. Maya struggled to focus as Dr. Ellison examined the spreading patterns on her skin. The markings now covered both arms, shimmering faintly even under the harsh laboratory lights. Fascinating, Ellison murmured, taking another tissue sample. The cellular changes appear to be accelerating. Are you experiencing any discomfort? No, Maya lied. The truth was more complex. A persistent humming beneath her skin, heightened senses, dreams filled with stars and distant worlds, and hunger for Kelrax's touch that bordered on physical pain. Colonel Vaughn stood in the corner, arms crossed. This confirms the alien poses a biological threat. Kelrax isn't causing harm, Maya protested. The changes are awakening something that was already there. That's exactly what concerns us, Vaughn replied coldly. You're experiencing some form of genetic manipulation. From now on, your contact with the subject will be restricted. Panic rose in Maya's chest. You can't. It's already done. We're moving him to a secure facility tomorrow. After they left, Maya paced her room frantically. The markings on her skin pulsed with her agitation, casting blue light across the walls. She hadn't seen Kelrax in 3 days, not since their kiss had triggered this accelerated transformation. A soft tap at her window startled her. Dr. Jasmine Rivera, one of the younger scientists on the team, beckoned her outside. I don't have much time, Jasmine whispered once Maya joined her in the small garden area. They're not just moving Kelrax, they're planning to sedate him indefinitely for invasive testing. Horror washed over Maya. Why are you telling me this? Because I've seen how you look at each other. Jasmine pressed a keycard into Maya's hand. Some of us believe this could be the beginning of something beautiful between our species, not something to fear. Later that night, Maya used the keycard to access the restricted wing. She found Kelrax standing motionless by the window, starlight highlighting the contours of his alien features. I knew you would come, he said without turning. The bond grows stronger. Maya rushed to him, taking his hands in hers. The moment they touched, the markings on both their bodies flared brilliantly. They're moving you tomorrow, she warned. We have to get you out. Kelrex finally faced her, his violet eyes holding infinite sadness. Not without you. The transformation has progressed too far. Separation now would cause you pain, perhaps worse. What are you saying? Maya whispered. Instead of answering, Kelrex placed his palm against her chest over her heart. Images flooded her mind, his people, called the HFY, seeding compatible planets with their genetic material eons ago. Earth was one such world, and some humans carried dormant HFY genes, activated only by proximity to full-blooded HFY. The claiming marks, Kelrex explained as the vision faded. They appear when genetic recognition occurs between compatible pairs. Compatible pairs, Maya repeated slowly. You mean mates. Companions of the soul, he corrected, tracing the luminous patterns on her skin with reverent fingers. Rare even among my people. When I said you were not leaving, it was not a demand but a recognition. Our essences have begun to intertwine. Understanding dawned on Maya. That's why you came to Earth. You were searching for compatible humans. For you, Kelrex whispered, drawing her closer, only you. Their lips met in a desperate kiss. Maya felt her body responding, the markings expanding across her skin like wildfire, her senses heightening until she could feel Kelrex's dual heartbeats as if they were her own. His cool skin warmed beneath her touch as she pressed against him, the physical differences between their species melting away in the heat of their connection. An alarm shattered the moment. Red lights flashed throughout the facility. They know, Maya gasped, pulling back reluctantly. Kelrex's expression hardened. Now we have no choice. My crew has remained hidden in orbit waiting. If we reach the crash site, they can retrieve us. Maya hesitated only briefly before nodding. The woman she'd been before Kelrex crashed into her life no longer existed. What awaited her among the stars was unknown, but the alternative, remaining on Earth separated from him, was unthinkable. As they slipped into the corridor, Maya caught her reflection in a window. Violet eyes stared back at her, no longer fully human. Alarms wailed as Maya and Kelrex raced through the underground levels of the facility. The emergency lighting cast everything in ominous red, matching the glowing patterns that now covered most of Maya's exposed skin. This way, she urged, pulling Kelrex toward the maintenance tunnels. Behind them, boots thudded against concrete as security teams mobilized. They're deploying electromagnetic barriers, Kelrex warned, his voice tense. I can sense the field building. They reached a heavy metal door. Maya swiped Jasmine's keycard, praying it had access. The lock flashed green and they tumbled into a dimly lit tunnel. 2 miles to the exit point, Maya gasped, struggling to catch her breath. The changes in her body made her stronger but also increasingly sensitive to Earth's atmosphere. Each breath felt thin, insufficient. Kelrex steadied her against the wall, his touch sending waves of relief through her system. Your transformation accelerates. We must reach my crew quickly. Maya nodded, then froze as she heard voices approaching from ahead. There's no other way out, she whispered. Kelrex surveyed their surroundings, then pointed to a ventilation shaft. There. Inside the narrow passage, they crawled in tense silence. Maya followed Kelrex's glowing form, marveling at how natural it felt to be escaping with an alien she'd known for barely a month. An alien who had irrevocably changed her life, her very DNA. They emerged into a storage room filled with equipment. Through a small window, Maya could see the forest where Kelrex's ship had crashed. Almost there, she whispered, reaching for the door. A voice from behind stopped her cold. I can't let you leave, Dr. Thomas. They turned to find Dr. Ellison blocking their path, a taser aimed at Kelrex. Please, Maya begged, you've seen the changes, I don't belong here anymore. You're suffering from a form of Stockholm Syndrome, Ellison insisted. These physical alterations can be reversed once we separate you. Kelrex stepped forward, ignoring the weapon. That would kill her, our essences are linked now. Stay back, Ellison warned, finger tightening on the trigger. Maya moved between them. Stephen, you're a scientist. What's happening between us is evolutionary, not pathological. The universe is bigger than we imagined. Hesitation flickered across Ellison's face. As if sensing his wavering resolve, the storage room door burst open behind him. Colonel Vaughn and 2 armed guards stormed in. Secure the alien, Vaughn barked. Everything happened at once. Ellison turned, momentarily distracted. Kelrex lunged forward, knocking the taser away. Maya grabbed a canister from a nearby shelf and hurled it to the ground. Thick smoke billowed out, filling the room. In the chaos, Kelrex took Maya's hand and they sprinted for the forest. Gunshots cracked behind them as they wove between trees. The crashed ship loomed ahead, still embedded in the ground but now surrounded by research equipment. It's inoperable, Maya realized, dismay flooding her. What now? Kelrax raised his face to the night sky. Now we call my people. He pressed his palm to the markings on Maya's arm. Their shared patterns flared brilliantly, sending columns of blue light shooting toward the stars. The connection between them intensified until Maya couldn't tell where her consciousness ended and Kelrax's began. In this merged state, time lost meaning. When Maya became aware of herself again, a much larger ship hovered silently above the treetops, bathing them in soft golden light. Behind them, military vehicles screeched to a halt at the forest's edge. Armed personnel poured out, forming a perimeter. "Last chance, Maya," Kelrax whispered as a beam of light descended from the ship. "Between worlds." Maya turned back, seeing the familiar outline of the research facility where she'd spent years studying ancient languages. Now she stood on the threshold of becoming part of a living language, a bridge between species. "I made my choice when I first saw you," she said, taking his hand. As the light enveloped them, lifting them toward the waiting ship, Maya felt Kelrax's arms encircle her. His cool lips found hers in a kiss that spoke of worlds yet unexplored. The markings on their skin pulsed in unison, binding them together as they ascended beyond Earth's atmosphere. On the ship, other Astrovai greeted them with melodic calls. Maya recognized the sounds somehow, as if awakening to a language she'd always known but forgotten. "We have searched for generations," an elder Astrovai told her, touching the markings on her skin with reverence. "You are the proof that our peoples can become one." Maya leaned against Kelrax, watching through a viewing port as Earth grew smaller. The transformation continued within her, not erasing who she had been, but expanding it into something gloriously new. 3 days aboard the Astrovai vessel had transformed Maya more than the previous weeks on Earth. The luminous patterns now covered her entire body, her eyes permanently shifted to violet, and her skin had taken on a subtle silvery blue sheen. Each change brought her closer to Kelrax's form while maintaining her human essence. "The Council wishes to depart for home within the day cycle," Kelrax said, joining Maya at the observation window where Earth hung suspended, a blue jewel against the black velvet of space. Maya's reflection in the glass showed a being caught between worlds, and if we leave, there's no coming back. "The journey would take many of your years," Kelrax confirmed, his fingers intertwining with hers. Their markings glowed in harmony, a visual representation of their deepening bond. A communication alert sounded throughout the ship. The Astrovai captain's voice followed. "Human vessels approach, they request parley." On the main viewing screen, military spacecraft surrounded them, keeping a cautious distance. A familiar face appeared, Colonel Vaughn, his expression grim. "We demand the return of Dr. Maya Thomas," he stated flatly. "Her abduction is an act of aggression." Before the captain could respond, Maya stepped forward. "I wasn't abducted, Colonel, I chose this." Surprise registered on Vaughn's face as he took in her altered appearance. "Dr. Thomas, what have they done to you?" "They've helped me become who I was always meant to be," Maya squared her shoulders. "But this standoff helps neither of our species." The colonel's eyes narrowed. "We cannot allow their vessel to depart with human genetic material and knowledge of our defenses." "Then perhaps we should stay," Maya suggested, an idea crystallizing. She turned to the Astrovai captain, not as captives or specimens but as ambassadors. Kelrax studied her face, understanding dawning in his eyes. A bridge between worlds. The next 12 hours passed in tense negotiation. Maya stood between two species, one she'd been born to, one she was evolving toward. Her unique position made her the perfect translator, not just of language but of intention and culture. Finally, an agreement was reached. The main Astrovai vessel would depart with most of the crew, but Kelrax and Maya, along with 3 other volunteers, would remain in Earth's orbit aboard a smaller ship, establishing the first diplomatic mission between the species. As preparations for the separation began, Maya and Kelrax retired to their private quarters. The impending departure of the mothership had created a bittersweet atmosphere among the Astrovai. "Are you certain?" Kelrax asked, his fingers tracing the contours of Maya's face. "My people would welcome you among the stars." Maya pressed her palm to his chest, feeling his dual heartbeats. "Our people need this connection. We can build something unprecedented, a true joining of worlds." Their markings glowed brighter as Kelrax drew her against him. "Then we create our own path," he murmured before claiming her lips. Their bodies merged with an intensity that transcended physical boundaries. Maya felt their consciousnesses intertwine as their physical forms joined, the markings on their skin creating patterns of light that danced across the walls. In this union, she experienced the vastness of space and time through Kelrax's memories, while he glimpsed Earth's beauty and complexity through hers. Later, as they lay entwined, the transformation completed itself. The final changes settled into Maya's DNA, stabilizing her new form, neither fully human nor fully Astravai, but something gloriously unique. The first of many, Kelrax whispered, tracing the finalized patterns on her skin. The following morning, they stood in the launch bay as the main vessel prepared to depart. The Astravai elders approached, touching their foreheads to Maya's informal blessing. "You honor us with your sacrifice," the eldest told her. "Your children will carry the best of both worlds within them." As the mothership disappeared into the depths of space, Maya and Kelrax turned their attention to the blue planet below. A shuttle waited to take them to the International Space Station, where human scientists had prepared temporary quarters. "They'll study us," Maya warned. "They'll want to understand everything about this bond." Kelrax smiled, the expression still new on his alien features. "Let them try. Some connections defy analysis." Standing before the shuttle door, Maya took one last look at the stars that had once seemed so distant and unreachable. Now they were as much a part of her heritage as Earth's soil. "Ready?" Kelrax asked, offering his hand. Maya's markings pulsed in response to his proximity, a visual reminder of their unbreakable bond. "For anything," she replied, stepping with him toward humanity's first true contact with the cosmos. A future neither species could have imagined alone, forged in the impossible space between stars.